everyone, and welcome to a special You've Been Sold Out episode of the OHIO podcast. That's right, Buckeye fans, Big Ten fans, college football fans across the country. You have been sold out. And who did this but none other than the Big Ten's very own Tony Petitti? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am not mad. I am furious. I am shaking with anger, and every Buckeye fan from Toledo to Ironton, from Columbus to the farthest reaches of Big Ten country, you should be just as irritated as I am. Because what just happened is not a misunderstanding. It ain't politics. It isn't letting things cool down. And it sure the hell isn't right. It is flat, outright betrayal. Betrayal at the highest level by a man who's supposed to protect the fairness and competitive integrity of this conference. Tony Petitti, you did not just turn your back on Ohio State. You sold us out. And not just Buckeye fans, but Badger fans, Nittany Lion fans, Hoosiers, Spartans, all of us, everyone in the Big Ten. You sold out the values of this conference. You have made light of the blood, sweat, and tears of every team that has played by the rules. Now let me say it louder, just in case you haven't heard it for those in back. Michigan cheated. For 3 seasons, they cheated. And it wasn't just a little bit of watching signs from the other sideline. No, they had a full covert operation, a full-blown intelligence outfit with Connor Stallions at the helm, going, recording signs, bringing them back, and decoding them like he was in a Cold War breaking codes. And don't give me this nonsense about just one rogue staffer. This wasn't one rogue staffer. This was a network, embedded, institutionalized, supported, and paid for by the university. The NCAA has charged Michigan with 11 violations, 6 of them at the level 1, the worst of the worst. And after Tony Petitti, a man who initially postured like he gave a damn did, what did he do in response? As we get nearer and nearer to the outcome of the Committee on Infractions hearing, he folds like a lawn chair. He writes a letter. That's right, a letter. To the NCAA Committee on Infractions, basically begging them to leave Michigan alone. Saying, oh, they've been punished enough. Enough? They disgraced themselves. They disgraced their university. They disgraced the conference. They disgraced the rivalry. They disgraced the game of college football and really college athletics as a whole. They disgraced it all. Are you out of your mind, Petitti? Harbaugh got suspended for 3 games last season. 3. For running the most elaborate cheating operation in sports history, he got 3 games. And to you, that's enough. He still ran practices. Still protected his team. Hell, he probably sat at home in his khakis on Saturday, calling up to the press box. Michigan didn't lose a step. They used it as a rallying cry. And guess what? They won themselves a little asterisk national title. And you're telling us all the schools, all the programs, not just in the Big Ten, but in the SEC and across the country, that justice has been served? No, 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 my friend. Justice wasn't served. It was buried by you. You are holding the shovel right now, trying to bury justice. Let me make this crystal clear from the Ohio State fan perspective, because I feel like I speak for many Buckeye fans that have the scarlet and gray running through their blood. Our team followed the rules. We built a program with relentless work, accountability, and integrity. Buckeyes played by the rules while Michigan was out there running covert spy operations, hacking computers, committing recruiting violations, and the plethora of other despicable acts they did. Just, it's endless. You had the chance to make it right, Tony Petitti. You had a chance to send a message that the Big Ten doesn't tolerate cheating. You had a chance to stand with programs like Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa, Nebraska, Michigan State, and all the others who demanded action. But instead of drawing the line in the sand, you grabbed them up and you're trying to clean up Michigan's mess. You told every honest team in the conference doing things the right way makes you a sucker. And I want to ask the question nobody else wants to ask right now. Why? Why would Tony Petitti go from such great lengths from wanting to bring a hammer down on himself to now wanting to cover up the program? Why does he want to go to these lengths to protect a program that thumbed their nose at the rules and gave the middle finger to the Big Ten Conference and the NCAA as a whole? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Was it about the money? Did they pay him directly, or is this just fear of losing money from TV contracts and playoff appearances? Did you really sell out your integrity for media ratings and the brand name of a team that hasn't been relevant since 1948? You didn't want to ruffle some feathers in Ann Arbor? Why? Because they were cashing checks and bringing a few eyeballs to your precious new media deal? Or was it fear? Petitti, are you too cowardice to go to the mat against Michigan? Are you afraid of being drawn into court? Did you buy into their smear campaign against you? Did you let Harbaugh and his PR army intimidate you into submission? Because make no mistake, this wasn't a legal victory for Michigan. It was a coward's surrender at the top. Tony Petitti, you had the moral high ground. And you lit it on fire. You could have been the commissioner who stood tall, who set a standard, who did all things right that Kevin Warren did wrong. You could have said, not in my conference. We do things by the book with integrity in the Big Ten. Instead, you became the commissioner of compromise, the great defender of the guilty. And if you're not willing to stand up for fairness or values that this conference was built on, then you don't deserve the title of commissioner. So let's be real blunt. Tony Petitti, tuck your tail between your legs and resign. Not next year, not after more meetings, now. You have just lost the trust of the schools you were appointed to lead. You've lost the confidence of the fans who fill the stands and pour their hearts into this sport. Most importantly, you have lost the moral authority to govern a conference that once prided itself on integrity. If a school can cheat for 3 years, hoist a national title, and walk away with nothing more than a slap on the wrist, what's the point? Why even have rules? Why should Ohio State or Penn State or any team in the conference play by the rules? If the message is this, winning erases everything. You want controversy to move on, Tony? You want the noise to stop? It's not going to. Not while you sit in that office. Not while you sweep Michigan's sins under the rug. Not while the schools who did it right are told to shut up and move on. No one's moving on. Not until we see real accountability. To every Buckeye fan out there, don't let this moment fade. Take it personally. Remember the moment that your commissioner sold you out. Don't let him gaslight us into thinking we're the crazy ones. We know what happened. We saw it on the field. We know what's fair. And we know when we've been stabbed in the back. Michigan cheated. Petitti's trying to protect them. And it's time to clean house. At this point, our great hope is the NCAA. Recently, they have made quite the impact with their rulings. Now's not the time to stop. The Big Ten doesn't belong to Michigan. It doesn't belong. In fact, you know what, honestly, the Big Ten doesn't belong to Michigan. Michigan doesn't even belong in the Big Ten. They're a dirty program and they need to be gone. But the Big Ten, it doesn't belong to TV contracts. It doesn't belong to lawyers or bureaucrats or an overreaching commissioner. It belongs to us, the fans. It belongs to the players. It belongs to the member institutions that still believe in doing things the right way. So I'm calling for it now, Buckeye Nation. Big Ten fans, college football fans across the country. I want you to say it with me loud. Resign. Quit, Tony. You're not fit to lead a conference. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Thank you for tuning in. Good day. God bless. And go Bucks.